Family annihilation cases are incredibly rare, but cases where a son kills his entire family are even rarer. And yet, in 2025, a series of shocking incidents forced investigators to confront a deeply disturbing question. How does a person turn on the very people they were raised to love and protect? What makes these cases even more unsettling is that the families involved often appear happy, stable, and completely ordinary, the last people anyone would expect to be touched by such horrific violence. This is the story of one such family. On January 25, 2025, a cold Saturday morning in New Sewickley Township, Pennsylvania, police were asked to perform a welfare check at the Hunt residence. Friends and relatives had grown concerned after their repeated calls and messages went unanswered, which was completely out of character for the family. When officers entered the two-story home, they knew immediately that something was terribly wrong. Inside, they discovered 4 members of the Hunt family deceased: the parents, Michelle and Clifford Hunt, and their 2 teenage sons. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing in the house appeared to be disturbed. Neighbors told police they hadn't heard anything unusual. From the outside, the Hunts were seen as a loving, close-knit family. They were active in their community and deeply devoted to their many animals. The image the family projected to the world was one of pure happiness. Michelle often shared photos online of family outings, their pets playing in the yard, and her son's school achievements. Her social media was a gallery of smiling faces and proud moments. Clifford Sr. was described by those who knew him as hard-working, reliable, and exceptionally kind, a man who would do anything for his family. Their younger son Cody was a standout student. He was a member of the National Honor Society, played the saxophone in the marching band, and had a deep passion for aviation. His biggest dream was to attend the U.S. Air Force Academy and become a pilot. He was on a clear path to success. The older son, Clifford Jr., was quieter than his brother but was known to be polite and dependable. He had been accepted to college but had decided to stay home for a year, working at a local store and helping his father around their property. By all accounts, nothing seemed wrong, and that's what made what happened next so incredibly difficult for everyone to comprehend. That Sunday began just like any other. At 8:43 in the morning, Clifford Sr. was recorded on a security camera purchasing animal feed, a routine task he had done countless times over the years. Neighbors later saw him outside, calmly tending to the animals. Everything seemed normal. Michelle was texting a friend about some new ducks they were expecting to add to their little farm. Cody went about his day just as he always did, chatting with his friends, planning for the school week ahead, and preparing for his future. Nothing in their final hours suggested that this family was on the brink of an unimaginable catastrophe. But at 9:27 that night, emergency dispatch received a chilling call. The caller was 16-year-old Cody Hunt. His voice was faint, broken, and barely understandable. He managed to get out only a few words: "Help, please. Everyone, my whole family." Dispatchers desperately tried to keep him on the line, to get more information, but the connection was weak. Police arrived at the home just minutes later, walking into a scene of unimaginable violence. Both parents, Michelle and Clifford, were already dead. Both sons, Cody and Clifford Jr., were critically injured but still alive. Paramedics rushed Cody and Clifford Jr. to the hospital. Despite extraordinary medical efforts, Cody died later that night. Clifford Jr. survived for several more hours on life support, but he never regained consciousness. With all 4 family members gone, the investigation turned to the forensic evidence to piece together the devastating truth. It revealed that the parents and the younger brother, Cody, had all been shot. The older son's wound was consistent with being self-inflicted. Investigators were forced to conclude that Clifford Hunt Jr. had shot his entire family before turning the weapon on himself. Toxicology reports came back clean. There were no drugs or alcohol in his system that could explain his actions. There had been no forced entry into the home. Nothing was stolen. There was no outside suspect. The horrific act had been committed by one of their own. What made this case especially disturbing was the complete absence of any warning signs. There was no history of violence in the family, no documented mental health treatment for Clifford Jr., and no known conflict that could have triggered such an extreme act. Friends, teachers, and neighbors were left reeling, asking the same question over and over again: why? Investigators could reconstruct the timeline of the tragedy, but they could not find a motive, and with the perpetrator gone, the answers died with him. The why remains a permanent, haunting mystery. The Hunt family tragedy reminds us of an uncomfortable and frightening truth. Some of the most devastating violence happens without any warning, behind closed doors, inside families that look perfectly normal from the outside. These cases challenge everything we think we understand about safety, predictability, and human behavior. They show us that we can never truly know what goes on in the privacy of a home or in the mind of another person. And while the official investigation may be closed, the pain for the community and those left behind will never truly go away. If there is one lesson to take from cases like this, it is that violence does not always announce itself with loud arguments or obvious signs. Understanding mental health, being aware of subtle shifts in family dynamics, and promoting early intervention are more important than ever. Because sometimes, the most dangerous storms are the ones no one sees coming. Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know is struggling, please know that help is available. We'll leave some resources in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.